High vibrations, loves, beautiful new day. Welcome back to Moving Abroad 222 podcast. I'm your host, Illy Alewashun, and thank you for being here today. New episode every Thursday, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we got a special guest today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up, everybody? I'm Deshaun Gray,
Okay. How old are you?
33, originally from Tennessee. So,
Okay. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we about to unpack this journey. So where are you
uh,
currently? Can you share with them? Tell them where
uh,
you are.
so, so currently I am living in Bangkok, Thailand. I just moved out here in December.
Okay, cool. So are you a traveler? How many countries have you been to in general?
Oh shoot! So, all right, countries. I think I've been to 8 countries so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's not a lot compared to a lot of people, but I'll be trying to travel.
Yeah, well, it's no comparison. Typically people be like, yeah, I've been to like 30, 50 countries. And I'm like,
Right,
okay, but have you really been there? It's a difference from going,
right,
staying for a week, than going to the next? Okay,
exactly.
so when did your journey start with a life abroad and you making the decision to decide, hey, I want to live overseas?
It actually happened my last time out the country, which was last year. I was in Dubai, and I was just like, it was around March time, and I'm just like, it doesn't really make sense to live in, out the country in the sense of like living in the U.S. and then knowing that like you can strive in other areas outside of a foreign country and have the peace of mind, which is heavy for me. So when I kind of like started, just got to the concept when I was like, if I work for the next 9 months, I can go, leave the end of the year and go move out the country and fulfill my same passions and things that I have in the U.S., but do it in a different space of mind. So that's how my journey started.
I love it. So what made you choose Thailand?
Man, I've been to Thailand twice before, and yo, it's Swatika, like the everything, Copenhagen, like just the people in general in Thailand are so fucking dope. Like probably some of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life. And then the cost of living is really cheap. I'm staying in an apartment that's 350 a month compared to what I was paying in the U.S. It's $2,000, so it's a huge
Oh,
change.
that's a big
Yeah,
difference.
exactly.
Yeah,
So.
that's a big
Yeah.
difference. Wow. I love that. So, people always want to know. They always say, how do y'all make y'all money? So, what
Yeah.
was your journey as far as prepping financially to get to where you are and what you're doing currently?
All right. So my journey, I had been knowing I want to move out the country for like a couple of years. So it was a matter of really just kind of just locking in the year prior because while living in California, I was still traveling, so I was still trying to figure out where do I want to live. I had been to Bali, I'd been to Philippines, DR, places like that. So
Mhm.
I started saving probably almost 9, 11 months prior before moving. And with that, it kind of allowed me to like financially know what my budget was moving out here. And then from there, be able to like, I'm really good at budgeting. So for me, it was really just saving up what my goal was. And from there, which I'm currently doing now, is fully dependent on editing content because I go out through traveling and stuff like that and posting on YouTube.
Mhm.
So I just took YouTube kind of serious the last couple of days because I'm, trying to lock in and that's going to be my form
Okay.
of income. So yeah.
Okay, love it. Okay, so what does it look like being a melanated man traveling the world? Like, what's the difference from being a melanated man in America, living your everyday life, and living abroad and traveling globally?
It's really crazy to say, and it sucks. I just feel like being out the country as a black melanated man is like, yo, we are. It's like we. I don't like to use the word gods, but people they appreciate us. Like they make. I feel like people are just 10 times more genuine because we are black, or
True.
because it is rare to see us around. So when people who aren't used to seeing us around, they see us it's just like yo, like they treat us with the type of energy and love that I wish it was where we was from back home. Like I lived in California before coming out here. It's not like that, It's a whole different type of energy. People aren't welcoming. People aren't, it's different motives. People out here genuinely
Yeah.
just who they are. So it's like I feel like being a black melanated man traveling is it's one of the best things because you're not even just for the Thai race. It can be Filipino or a
Mhm.
different race or someone from Germany or any other country, Sweden, anything. And then just to see that like we're such a rare breed to these people is amazing because it's like, damn, where I'm from, like I'm just another black person, trying to
Mhm.
pursue music or, whatever it is I'm doing. But out here, it's just like they don't really care what you're doing half the time. So yeah.
Okay, so out of all the countries you traveled to, which one would you say that you enjoy the most?
See, I think I'd be contradicting because I moved to Thailand based off being in Thailand two times before traveling all the cities. So I would say my most favorite though, like if I could move to is Dubai, but right now is state of the world, not probably a good place. But
Yeah.
for sure I would say Thailand, outside of it, because it's just the beauty of so many different places in Thailand that you can find yourself resonated with if you know what you want to do in life.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. Me and my grandma was just talking about Dubai before we got on here. I was literally just talking to her. She was telling me she had a
Yeah.
friend whose daughter returned back because of what was going
Oh
on.
shoot,
But I was
yeah.
telling her that I know a girl who's over there still living her life like normal. So it's so funny how we all living in the same world, but we each is
It's
experiencing realities totally different,
completely
right?
different, very disconnected, which is crazy. I feel like that's one thing about living abroad is that you don't pay attention to what's really going around the world, but then when you get on social media, it's like, okay, oh shit, that's what's happening, and you realize we're very, very much disconnected. Even though we still have social media on our phones accessible, we're
Hmm.
not consumed in what would be going on around the world as opposed to us. We're in our own bubble, and that's one thing I love
Yeah,
about
people,
being out the
yeah.
country.
Yeah, people just keep living. Like, oh, it's a war.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
right. Like,
mean,
oh, sure. Yeah, let me know when it ends.
exactly. That is crazy to me. That is kind of sick. But,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Okay, so what would you say is your two pros and two cons of living abroad?
So I'm gonna start with I think okay, so I would say two pros would be peace of mind, like
Mm,
heavy on the peace of mind. I feel like that's the first thing you really kind of get once you realize, oh wow, this is a whole nother way of living. Like this is a whole nother experience. This is something like your brain is conditioned to feel this way naturally all the time. You have to go on vacation to feel the way you feel when you move out the country. So that's one pro. Another pro I would say is definitely cost of living. If you know how to budget, I feel like you can really um sustain yourself out here until you find other means of whatever you move out to do. For sure. Two cons. Um I feel like you are very disconnected. So you don't understand how disconnected you are from the outside world as opposed to what's going on in your world. Because you may
that's a good
shit,
one.
like even with time, it'd be 4 o'clock in the year and to us, but somewhere else is 4 in the evening or whatever. So like sometimes times I feel like it's things like that, but just the disconnect. We're very disconnected because we are in a whole different side of the world, and we're now receiving our reality completely different and also in a different, I guess, headspace. So I think that's another con is it lacks because human connection, in the sense of what
Mhm.
we are used to back in the States, naturally seeing somebody that talk to us that know our language and stuff like that. I think another con for me would be trying to be realistic. Um, Another con of living out the country.
Don't sound like you got too many guys.
Nah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't. I'm just like, damn, I really ain't got no cons like that. Like I don't have any yet. At least, like I only been out here since December. But for me, I've been here two times prior, so it's not like I already knew what I was getting myself into.
Right.
But I would definitely say another con is probably like, um, probably I'm just gonna say a con because I don't like the heat. I'll probably say the heat season is coming. Like, I know it's gonna be really hot out here. That's the only con. I don't like the heat, so I can't. Like, if I'm living here, like I can avoid the heat. I just gotta go to another country. So, I think
Yeah.
that's the only second con for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the sun in Thailand is vicious. That's a
I
beast.
heard. I
That's a
heard.
beast right there. That is a
I,
beast. So even though we melanated and we feel like we ain't gotta wear sunscreen because we black people, that is a lie. We gotta
Yeah.
wear sunscreen too, or it's gonna tear your ass up for real. You gotta have you some
So
sunscreen. So,
I'm
cause
like,
that
I'm about to do some.
that sun ain't no joke. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I've experienced it
Honestly,
before, but not living though. But not, it's a whole different
yeah.
experience to live out here.
Like honestly, when it gets really hot, it gets suffocating to me. Like it's so like
Yeah.
draining, like it's so heavy. So I get why a lot of tight people they wear winter clothes in the summer. You'll probably see them in pants and hats, and you like, why are they not trying to
Yeah.
get burnt? Because it's gonna fry them,
You
literally.
know, I saw somebody do that recently. I was like, I was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you got a jacket on in the sun out? I was like, oh, we hot. I was like, oh, okay. Y'all skin different out here. Say less.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so definitely
yeah,
makes
cause
sense for
yeah,
sure.
they would definitely get fried. Okay, so my next question is what does the dating life look like for a man abroad? I'm not gonna say single because I don't know your personal
Yeah.
business, but I
Uh,
would say a lot of people like to know this part and some people talk about it, some don't. But I feel that it's easy for y'all. But what would you say your experience
yeah,
has been
I
with dating?
definitely feel like dating abroad. It's crazy because compared to the U.S., it's like, all right, you know, you're in the U.S., you're wherever you're at, you know, so you have access to whoever you're dating and just fighting that area. But when you live abroad, I feel like because you do have so many different ethnicities and people that you meet through traveling, people that you feel connected to or have a lot in common with, I feel like it makes dating. It really depends on what your dating intentions are. Like, are you dating to marry? Are you dating to, you know, just date? Like, I don't know. But I feel like for men, for me personally, I feel like the experience is um but I feel like you have more options in terms of dating, as opposed to like the US. I feel like because we are a rare commodity, and um, if you are, you know, are attractive as well, it just like you're able to basically kind of choose, and then also if you're not dating, it's like okay, you know that when you're ready to, that you'll have
Yeah.
options who you want. Yeah, I think that is the big difference of being out. Not to say that the US isn't the same, but I feel like because you're not just getting black and white or a typical Mexican. You're getting every race that can fucking that you know within every country, people because you're constantly around people from all around the world. So I feel like that's what makes dating a little bit different, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that a lot. So what I've picked up on is very hard for women. Well, not well, American women. Let's just say
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
But for men, it's pretty easy. So, I always like to ask and get, everybody's experience because it's interesting. I do not feel like you should move abroad to date anyway, because
Right.
dating as a foreigner for me is ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Because American women, especially melanated women, we are like a fetish to most races. Well, most
Exactly.
races of men, we are a fetish. So they just want to experience us. It's not, but not all of them though. Okay. For anybody that's watching, don't get in your feelings. I ain't talking about all of y'all. I'm saying some of y'all. Well, majority of y'all. So yeah.
Yeah. I gotta watch what I
Okay.
ask sometimes, but that is true. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking for a lot of men. It's based off experiences already. That like it is harder for obviously melanated women because y'all are just like the black men. Like y'all, every race find y'all attractive, like a rare exotic plant or something. So it's like, but
Mhm.
you, like you said, you don't always know if that intention of dating is because of that reason or is actually genuine. You know, based off
Mhm.
whatever the date and things. So
Yeah, and I just don't think any because I see sometimes people in the Thailand groups, black women, no shade to any of y'all, but they be in there like, yeah, I'm looking for love. Baby, ain't nobody checking for us abroad, really. I'm just being honest. People not
yeah,
checking
that's
for
too
because
funny.
most men they're dating Asian, clear
Yeah,
women, and other women from different
from
backgrounds.
different
So
background.
even
Yeah,
though we look good, yeah, okay,
yeah.
but actually wanting to
Yeah.
settle down, whole nother story. So, okay, so my next question is what advice, if someone was to come to you and ask you, what did you do that you could have did differently, like to make this process smoother, or easier? What advice would you give to them as far as prepping to move to a new country?
Um, I would say that question from it's almost different for that because it's like a contradiction. I kind of planned it out prior. Like I still had to, bumps him, throughout the road, but I would say mostly just save as much as you can because we don't understand how cheap it is somewhere until you're not paying what you were paying back in, the States. I play you back in the States, like you got sometimes a bottle of water maybe $3. You can get
Hmm.
4 or 5 bottles of waters out here for $3. So it's like don't think that extra $5 ain't gonna that'll stretch you, depending, especially with a lot of things out here. I think that's something like I did save a lot of money, but I feel like if someone was to give me advice, I would say save as much as you can. I would say be ready to be in moments where you do feel like you're having to restart your entire life because you are. It's not just like moving to another state. You're moving to a whole nother country. And if you don't have certain resources, you have to obviously attain those over time. And that's, come with meeting people where that comes with experience, it comes with time. So I feel like know that you're going to be lonely and know that you're going to feel like, oh shit, like did I make the right decision? But I feel like if you making that choice, if even that thought, you already made the right decision. So yeah, that's my advice.
Okay, okay, I think that that's good advice. Okay, so mentally, let's talk about like emotional well-being and just mental health abroad, especially as a Black man. What does that look like for you?
Mhm.
How do you maintain your mental health, and what type of mental health did you have to be in order to get to where you are, like leaving America and coming here?
I think because I have traveled um throughout the last couple of years of my life, that has made me um a lot easier to transition in a sense of moving somewhere and kind of having that restart feeling. I've kind of done it a lot throughout life. But I definitely feel like I high key forgot. Oh, sorry, mental health. So for me, personally, I ain't gonna lie to you, smoking weed has helped me through being out here
Okay.
um abroad. And I'm a huge I was an advocate before, now I'm just like I don't have to smoke as much, but when I do it's very relaxing because of the fact that like back in the States, you're stressed. You're always in survival mode. And out here, you're more so just so free. Sometimes you don't know what the hell you want to do, or like what do you want to do with your day, or what do you want to do that day in general. So it's just like, um, I think that's helped my mental and massages out here. Amazing. Like if you need a foot massage,
Mhm.
you may get a foot massage. It may turn into a whole back massage because you're like, you know what? That was good, but go ahead and do the back. So I think
Right, right.
I think the luxury of getting a massage so cheap allows you to just appreciate the small things too. Because you can do nothing but go get a massage and grab a tea smoothie or some mango and sticky rice, and you chilling. The rest of the day, you don't. It's so. I feel like because you don't have to feel like you have to move, you can have those moments by yourself out here. That allows your mental to be even better. Because I feel like back in the States, you don't get that. You gotta go work 8 hours the next day. So yeah, 8 hours of that day, you gotta get that energy to somebody or to someone
Mhm.
or to. But when you're just out the country, it's like time is of the like you just don't experience it as much. You don't. It's like it's there, but it's not something that you're no longer attached to. That's why I feel like your mental health is a lot better because you're no longer having to like associate everything with time. You're just experiencing and living, and it's a beauty. So yeah.
I love that. Okay, that goes into our next question. What's one of the biggest lessons you can say you've learned from now in December? I know it's been many, so that's why I'm only asking about one. What is one of the biggest lessons you've learned as an American living abroad? Something that's powerful that another person can hear and take with them to use. These
um,
good questions because you've been
they
thinking like,
are, they are because I actually be having to think about stuff. Um, you said a lesson.
yeah, yeah, like a lesson,
Yeah, okay.
something that
That
you've learned that was like
along the way.
valuable.
Um, honestly, I ain't gonna cap. I'm all about saving money. One thing I did know was that okay, I mean, I guess to me it's valuable, but don't do Western Union. If you lose your debit card or something, obviously, yeah, that's your only option, possibly. But I feel like don't ever like go to the Western Union to take cash out because the fee is like $75. And I didn't know that the first 2 times because I just did it without knowing. But the fee is hefty, and if you do that, that's $75. That's just as opposed to going to the ATM and taking cash out. And another, I'm gonna give 2 lessons because I feel like one on one is that um have a game plan. Like know what you want to do. Because if you don't know what you want to do, it's going to be very hard to find that because it's like I said, you're restarting your life. You're not in the sense of restarting as a person, but restarting as in like where you are currently. How do you move forward? How do you build a future where you currently are? So I feel like that's one thing that you're gonna have to already know. Don't come here thinking you're gonna escape because you don't escape anything. It just whatever you go through, you just takes it with you. I think a lot of people
Mhm.
travel and they think that, oh, I'm traveling and I'm just gonna like everything I've ever gone through in my life is just gonna go away. No, you still do the same shit. You still go to depression, you still feel sad, you still happy, you still go through all the same emotions, but they're a little
Absolutely.
bit different and on a frequency. So I feel like if you come out here with a game plan and you know what you really want to do, then I feel like you'll exceed without any issues at all.
Mhm. I love that. That was powerful. Okay, what visa did you decide to go with when you chose
Uh,
Thailand? How did you decide within your visas?
so for me, it was just like realistically, it was like, all right, if I'm gonna be making money, let me rephrase that. I'm gonna be making money, so to say that I just the 4 or 5 year visa for me is like that's good enough because I know that I can sustain money through YouTube and stuff like that within the next 4 or 5 years. But also, it gives you 4 or 5 years in Thailand, which means I can leave as many times as I want. I don't have to do any border runs. I only got to report to immigration every 180 days. So for me, I'm like, that's no biggie. Like if I go somewhere for 2, 3 months, I just gotta be back on the fourth month to check in immigration and I fly back out. So for me, I did the DCV, which is the work visa. So yeah, that's the one I started. I actually just got it 2 weeks ago. So
Oh,
now I'm
nice.
yeah.
Congratulations.
So now I'm locked in.
That's a big step. I always say shout out to the people who got that 5 year because
Man, man.
that's a big commitment.
I was in limbo too. It wasn't even just like I think the commitment is big, but when you're in limbo, not knowing if you're gonna get your visa, you're just like you can't really make no moves. Like you can sign a lease, you can do everything you want in
Yeah.
Thailand, but if that shit ain't improved when they come around, you just out of luck. Like I mean, you gotta try the next country, and that was my biggest thing. Realizing I got my visa before I moved in. That's one thing I would say. Another lesson is try to get your visa before you move out here because if you get your visa before you come out here, you're solid, you're good. You don't have to worry about anything outside of just checking in. As opposed to, oh, I gotta scramble, I gotta take this much out of my account, I gotta go to this, things that aren't planned gonna have to be planned. So yeah.
I agree with that because I got my visa here and I got kids. So I had to leave, go stay in
Mhm.
Vietnam 20 something days and then come back.
Yeah.
That was a lot. That was
Yeah,
honestly
same,
a lot. But
same.
as far as the visas, it's like you really gotta decide which one you want. That's why I asked you, how did
Mhm,
you decide? And you broke that down. And I love that because that's something to think
mhm,
about for everybody watching. If you want to lock in that security and you want to know this
mhm,
where you gonna be, you about to build, this what you about to do, DTV is a good route. So would you say the DTV is
mhm.
inexpensive or it's pretty affordable to those that's interested?
I would definitely say it's affordable because I feel like for the cost of 4 or 5 years, you literally are. If you would have to do visa runs for those costs of every 90 days, you'll spend that probably with less within the year. So the fact that it's 5 years and you spend what you spend to get your visa, I feel like it's a win-win because I feel like really, yeah, like the cost of
Yeah.
gas, the food, everything, it would be you'll spend less than that still probably about the same amount for a whole year. So I feel like yeah, it's very realistic.
Yeah, it is. I think the same. Okay, so what would you say that you spend roughly a month on like expenses? Like living from coming, where you lived before to where you live now,
Mhm.
what would you say your expenses is so we can give people like
Man,
give them some knowledge of what to
so
spend monthly.
realistically, so all right, so rent plus car note plus insurance all along was probably like 3,000. Then you got food. I was always on the go working, so I ate out a lot of the times. So I'll probably spend like $100 a week on groceries. Or
Mm,
not even groceries eating out, maybe 150. The cost of like I would say roughly like $4,000 a month you spending on to live, to eat, for bills, and coming out here and your rent's only $300 and the only thing you're paying for is either a Grab drive or your food and even utilities. You're spending under $1,000
I was
or a
gonna say that.
thousand dollars. So you're saving still $3,000 if you come in places like California, New York. You're gonna be saving way more money than you'll probably be able to save in 2 or 3 months living where you are currently. I think that's a huge change too. People don't understand, like, yo, you're gonna save what you would have saved in 3, 4 months out there. That 3, 4 months out here would be 6 months if you're good with your money, 7 months if you're good with your money. So yeah,
That's so fire. Under 1,000 and the transportation is simple. I love me a Grab.
double. Like what? I'm hopping on right now.
It's $2
So
to get
yeah,
to maybe $1 to get to
30
wherever you
minutes.
gotta go.
30 minutes. Think about going to the airport for $5, yo. 30-minute drive. I tell like you can't beat it. Like I don't care where you live. If you paying over $40 for a cab drive and it's only 30, 40 minutes, y'all don't understand. You saving off rip just everywhere you go, you're gonna save money. You don't need a car. I just got me a Grab, a bike, and I think the rental is only $90 a month. So now the equivalent of what I would pay every day going out, exploring, meeting people, what I would do on a Grab, now I'm saving that money because I'm just paying it myself and driving around for the month. So there's definitely options for you to get around to outside of transportation. You know, you can get your own transportation and you're still gonna save what you would have saved in the States compared to having an insurance and everything else. So yeah.
Right, definitely. So you got you a bike now that you say you rented?
Yeah, I just got me a
Okay.
bike. So I'll be riding around out here, man. I'll be out here in these streets.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, I love
Okay,
it.
that's good to get a bike. That's a good investment, especially if you're gonna be here for 5 years.
Yeah, the fact you can rent it monthly or you can do a year contract. And for me, I'm like, all right, I'll do a monthly because I know that I may decide I want to go somewhere else next month, just to explore. I don't want to be, renting a bike that I don't have. So that's a good luxury too. You can even buy you a bike if you wanted to, but I feel like just to make it easier, just rent a bike month to month until you get to the point where you feel like you're going to be exploring other countries and other cities and stuff that's not within, a Bangkok area. Then rent a bike that location.
Right. So what's the process of renting a bike? Does it include insurance? Is everything all included? How does that go for anybody that might be interested?
So usually when you get a bike, they'll require you to show like proof of residency. So like because I have a lease out here, that was one requirement. The second requirement was your passport. They usually do typically around um a $60 deposit, and from there, that's like that they give you insurance when you get the bike, but I think the insurance only covers. I want to say like it was, and I want to give a wrong number, but like 42,000 in hospital damages or anything and stuff like that. And one thing about the bikes, a lot of people think you can't get bikes out here. That's not the truth. The truth is you can't have a bike over I think 125 cc because there's different speeds like 125, 150,
Oh, got
200.
it.
And then the speeds are based off the scooter. So you can get a scooter that's still fast, but that's not as fast as a motorcycle. So you're still under the limit of being able to drive within the legal laws of Thailand. That's why they pull you over as long as you have your insurance and within that range. They can't really give you a ticket for that. So that's the only reason I got a bike. 'Cause for the longest, I thought it was the opposite way around. So yeah.
Wow, that's good insight. Okay, so for anybody
Yeah.
that's interested, I've been thinking about getting a bike. I was actually gonna get a car, and then I switched it. I was like, let me just get a bike.
A
But I don't
car.
know. I don't got too much longer here, so I don't want to waste my
Oh,
money. But
well, okay, okay.
we'll see. We'll see. But I think getting a car is good because I'll
Mhm.
go a lot of places and then I have kids. So they
Yeah, the
can't
kids
just
too,
hop
yeah,
on a
yeah, we
bike.
got all weekend.
But I met this girl when I first got here. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna invest in a car. And I was like, I'm only about to be here for a year. I'm not doing that. Now I regret it.
Yeah,
So I said that if I come back and stay in Thailand again, maybe another year,
yeah,
then I already know where I want to stay and that I'm getting transportation for sure. Like it's no doubt. Cause I think getting a bike is smart.
yeah.
Okay, so let's go into community, all right? Because I know
Mhm.
that's something that you can definitely chime in on. What does that look like for you? Building community, meeting new people, having that support system because it's not like our family and our friends back home can really relate to this new life that we've created. So, how has
Mhm.
your experience been with community abroad?
I would say I've definitely like I love it because like I said, people are more genuine. So even meeting people of our own kind that's on the same path, on the same frequency, either all figuring it out or figured it out, and I feel like it makes it so dope because it is a huge community, not only in Bangkok, but in other areas of Thailand where people, because we are the minority, we typically do seem to stick together out here, which is one thing I do like as a community is it's very easy to find your tribe. So don't come out here thinking, you're not gonna find that guy friend or that girlfriend. Like, nah, you'll find people all over, like, and it'll make you feel so much more. I guess, at peace, knowing that you have other people that are kinda in the same situation as you, just moving out here, still fresh out here, been here for a while, you're not gonna have no issue with, finding your tribe out here. I feel like just how it is anywhere else, let people find you and you'll find the people you're supposed to find.
So if a person was nervous about going into community, because like me personally, I have a big social media presence, so people think I'm friendly, but nah, that
Um,
ain't that. So
you
in
know,
real life, I'm really a introvert. So what advice would you give
uh,
to someone who's like nervous, who really is used to being in and not really used to connecting with community like
yeah,
that? What advice would you give to that person?
that's super funny because 'cause I'm the same way, like, I'm a very social person, but, like, I have to wanna be social, and, like, everyone thinks I'm always social based off, like because, like, on social media, so for me, I feel like to kinda break that is just ease yourself into conversations, don't if you go in, I think, with the concept of just, like, full head in, you're going to become a little bit more overwhelmed with the aspect of having to talk to people, but if you kind of flow with
Mm.
yourself and allow yourself to talk to certain people and then build up, you'll get to the point where you kind of no longer thinking about it. You're just being yourself. So I feel like going out is something that I'm not like a going out picking person. Like I'm cool with chilling, but I know I have to go out more because this is a new country. Like I may not know who I may meet or who I need to meet, So I think just getting out and just putting yourself like you, not as I ten as someone right beside you that's doing the same thing, So I feel like that's one thing I love about traveling. There's always going to be someone that's doing the same exact thing you're doing, or trying to find themselves, or trying to find fun, or an adventure, or whatever it may be. So yeah,
Yeah, like-minded, and I feel like Bangkok has a big community there,
um,
and people always ask me, "Why do you go to Bangkok?" And I'm like, I be
person.
looking at the communities of Bangkok like, "Damn, they lit, like, they so turned up."
Yeah,
But Chiang
yeah,
Mai is a little
yeah,
bit slower, and people are,
yeah.
like, more standoffish.
That's what
Like,
I've been
the
told
Black people here, they're really standoffish, and it's like all these little groups within one group. I don't know, it's
within
a
one
lot of
group.
yeah, it's a lot of everybody doing their own thing. It's like, okay, I thought it was one group, but it's not. It's a lot of,
Yeah. I've
sirens,
been
basically.
told. My friend went there recently. She was like, "Oh, I got put in the black group chat," and she was like, "But they wasn't really like talking much, and like no one was really
Yeah.
kind of outside." And I was like, I've heard that before." So the fact that you
Yeah,
had
they
that
don't be doing
experience,
shit. They don't be doing
yeah,
shit.
I was like,
To
"Damn."
me, the
So
group is like
it was
bland.
just
Like
very
these
weird.
people in Chiang Mai, they're coming to chill and relax, which is
Uh,
cool. Do your thing, but Chiang Mai definitely has a nightlife that I've experienced. Just they
yeah,
probably
yeah.
never experienced. There was a girl that I met, a stud. So she was real turned up and lit. But she took me
Uh,
out one night and I was like, Chiang Mai is lit. Like I did not know Chiang Mai was lit like this. I'm talking the Thai people be outside. Like they're really fun to hang out with. And I never knew that. So it was
uh-huh.
something very interesting to experience. But I know in Bangkok, I feel like I feel like the community is just better there. I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah.
in
Yes,
my opinion.
I just I've experienced other places. And, like, even going to Vietnam, and I thought Vietnam's their nightlife is pretty cool, but nothing to Bangkok. I feel like Bangkok just has a certain energy, and that's why I still tell people all the time, like, if you go out in Bangkok, you may go out at 7 o'clock at night thinking you're gonna be coming home by 10. No. You're gonna be out to 3, 4, 5 a.m. just because of the fact that, like, that's just how it goes. Like, you just I feel like it's, like, Bangkok's just its own vortex of energy, like, so you get all these type of vibes, and next thing you know, you're in it. So I definitely like the energy in Bangkok for sure.
I love it. I love it. So, what's your plans for after Thailand? Do you have any idea of other countries that you're thinking about living in?
Yeah. I haven't really fully thought it through yet, to be honest. Like I know that I eventually I wanna live in certain islands in Thailand. Ones that eventually, like, for me allows me to go through a very like I would say shamanic experience in my life. Now it's my 33rd. I just turned 33. Like I don't know, I'm really bad with time. 3 weeks ago or something like that. And or
That's
maybe it was
all.
4 weeks ago. I don't know. But now I'm really becoming more in tune with just like reaching a different level of spirituality. And through like meditations, and I'm very big into like psychedelics. So I think I eventually do want to live somewhere like Um, I don't know, like Peru, somewhere with like a rainforest vibe, like a huge tribe of
Mhm.
people that are like very shamanic
Peru
and
is
very,
nice.
spiritual, like journey.
Mhm.
Or not even just Peru, just like somewhere like I've heard Costa Rica would be really nice, you know.
Costa
So
Rica.
there's still a lot of places I still want to visit that I haven't visited yet. But Thailand is definitely a place I'll explore as well as exploring other places while I'm here for sure.
Okay, so speaking of spirituality, this takes us into moving towards the end with our questions. Spirituality in Thailand. Okay,
Wow.
so a lot of people I don't think realize until they come here that this is a very spiritual land. What has your
Yeah.
experience been spiritually since you've been in Thailand?
Um so I think spiritually, I'm really big. So I would say that one thing you really experience is just the energy. The energy of every person you meet, you know, because based on so many people energy that are so genuine and especially I like to say the locals are just genuine, amazing people. I feel like when you meet these people, you naturally know this person's a good person. And that's one thing I hear about being in Thailand is because you don't when you meet somebody that isn't like that, you instantly feel it because you're so used to meeting so many people that are on that genuine love, happiness, energy. So I feel like that. I lost train of thought with your question. Sorry. Um,
Did you did you smoke before we started?
bro, I always smoke. Chill. Nah, it's just I was trying to really dissect the question while talking, answer the
Okay, okay,
question.
okay. Okay, okay. Because I was wondering, I'm like, did you have you a little session? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's
Yeah,
cool, no
I'm
judgment.
sorry.
No, it's cool, it's cool. But I was asking about as far as spirituality, but I feel like you gave us good
Oh,
insight.
yeah.
Um,
It's heavy out here. Like I feel like the spirituality community because people don't like I said, people don't understand Thailand is such a spiritual place. Like Buddhism, monks, Buddha, like everything is like from the heart. Everything is, so I feel like when you come out here, you're gonna instantly, if you're not a spiritual person, you're gonna go through that path for sure, figuring out like, damn, like what does these symbols mean? Or what does this mean? Or why do I see this everywhere? And it's gonna open your mind up to what you're not used to seeing because back in the States you see crosses everywhere. Out here you see, Buddhism symbols or religious mantras and stuff like that. So that's one thing I got to answer your question. Yeah. It's very much
yeah.
you feel it and you'll experience it for sure.
It definitely is, and I feel like that's one of the things for Chiang Mai, that I get that I don't think I get anywhere else in
Anywhere
Thailand. It's
else.
just very slow and spiritual here, and I live in the
Mhm.
mountains, so people
Yeah.
don't know the mountains hold a frequency.
Oh, that
And then it's
energy.
just yeah, it's just very this is different. This is expansion, extension. It's a lot that goes on, and this is why a lot of people they come here in relationships and they leave single.
Uh-huh.
That's why a lot of people have spiritual awakenings. Like they just go through so much being here because it really is spiritual land. So, yeah, Thailand is definitely a very spiritual place. Okay, so what does a typical day look like for you? Like, what do you do? You just be like chilling, getting up. Like, what does a day look like in your world?
Man, so lately I've been trying to be on a schedule. I wake up.
Okay, that's
If
good.
I wake up and I don't hit the gym at like 5, 6 a.m., as soon as I wake up, the first thing I start doing is just start editing. Like that's what I've been really trying to tap into lately. It's just working on it because I have so much content over the last 2, 3 years.
Mhm.
That now I have the space to just edit. I don't have to go travel for a couple months if I don't need to because I have so much content to just edit. So now that I'm doing that. Typically doing that. Then I'll go to the gym probably like by 1 o'clock, 12. I like to come back and just relax. I'll probably do some more edits, play music. I have found a studio out here, so now I'm going to the studio. At least try to go once a week. Um, and then typically, sometimes if I feel like my day has been busy from editing, I'll just leave the house, go to a busy area of Bangkok where I know I could probably get a joint, get some vegan food, and I'll just explore the rest of the day. And that usually takes me to the next day. So that's typically my journey, my process right now. My schedule is just kind of going doing that the same with repeat of editing and the gym and obviously there's like sessions where I meet up with people because of there's a black community out here. So now they're starting to have Wednesday nights where everyone meets up and stuff like that. So it definitely varies, but I feel like because you don't have to be on a schedule based off if you're working, if you're not working, if you're working as this, you kind of have the freedom to kind of do whatever you want.
Mhm. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so where can we find you? Can you give us your
Uh,
information, your YouTube,
yeah,
Instagram,
yeah,
anything
yeah.
you want us to follow?
So my Instagram is travels with D underscore underscore. My YouTube is at my YouTube is it's D Gray. That's ITSDEEGREY. And yeah. Oh, my artist page is Erosis, EROSES underscore underscore one. I make music. You can also find that on Spotify and Apple Music. Artist name EROSES. So
Okay, love it. And all of his information will be in the caption so you guys can follow and support his journey. Or maybe if you in Thailand, you can connect with him. Okay, so what are your last words that you want to give to anybody who needs to be inspired right now to travel, to live abroad, who's maybe living in fear, or their family telling them you can't do that, you don't got enough money, or whatever. You know, it's so much negativity. What inspiring words would you leave with us today?
my inspiring words is if you already thought about it, it's the only thing you think about at night. Start that journey. Because I tell myself all the time, what if you don't do it? You know,
Mm,
so that's my inspiration. You can think about it all day. You can think about the outcome of what never happened, but what if you don't do it? You'll still be in the same
mm.
position. And I feel like now is the best time to kind of like take this leap abroad with everything going on in the world. And I feel like if you're thinking about it, don't think about it long. Just go. Like as if you got to jump off a cliff. You're bungee jumping. Don't even think. Just jump. Because the moment you take that first decision, everything else in your life will align with whatever you're trying to, accomplish. So yeah.
I love it. That was good. Okay, thank you so much for being a
Yeah,
guest today.
for
We
sure.
appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who has tuned into this episode. Make sure you leave your comments, your questions, and anything that you would like to say and engage with us in the comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like. Make sure to give us a like, a follow. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you in the next episode. Peace. Thank you for watching.
Steady on my grind.